Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mcubed Show about all things fantasy sci-fi. As always, I'm your host, Schmerold. So this week, I'm going to have two videos for you, alright? So you got to make sure to look out for my Visions only video, but this is going to be our main weekly video right now. So we're going to get into a little bit of news. There's not a whole lot, but for sure we have a new Star Wars game coming out that I'm looking real forward to. We're getting Knights of the Old Republic. A remake, and it's nice because EA is not working on it. I've liked some of the stuff EA has done. I really liked Battlefront 2. I thought Battlefront 2 was a real fun multiplayer game. It got a lot better. It was not great at first, not at all, but it got real good. And then I liked Jedi Fallen Order quite a bit. But besides from that, that's really all for news. But I want to have a special little thing to talk about. We've had the birthday of the Hobbit book, the book that got me into fantasy as a whole. And so without the Hobbit and without Star Wars, I might not be making these videos for y'all. So huge shout out to that. And then without the Hobbit, we can't celebrate these two awesome people's birthday. We have Bilbo Baggins and Frodo Baggins. It's their birthday today. Well, when this comes out, it won't be their birthday anymore, but let's celebrate them. Two of my favorite fictional characters of all time, specifically Bilbo. I like Bilbo miles more than Frodo, but Frodo's a badass character, don't worry. But yeah, so that's it for news and announcements. So let's just get right into the Y the Last Man review. We won't be doing What If for Star Wars this week because we're going to have a whole Star Wars video for y'all, but we'll get back into that eventually, don't worry. So Y the Last Man. So we have episodes 3 and 4 to discuss on this channel. So when Y the Last Man came out, we got 3 episodes on launch, and then we just had episode 4 come out. Last video I went over is episode 1 and 2 for you. So we're going to go over 3 and 4 right now. If you haven't seen episodes 3 and 4, I say just come back to this video another time. Check out my Star Wars Visions video instead if you've seen Star Wars Visions for sure. But if you have seen episode 3 and 4 Y the Last Man, stick around. Let's talk. So for episode 3, we have Yorick finally having conversations with his mom and Agent 355, and it's cool. It's cool to see a mother reunite with her son, thinking obviously he's gone, because if every single man on the planet is just gone, then holy cow, of course your mother is relieved to see you. But anyway, this episode goes into the whole conspiracy, political scale of things, with the president of the United States, who's Yorick's mother. It goes into the old president's daughter kind of scheming a little bit about possibly how to reclaim the presidency, possibly for her family, because her mother, so the first lady of the United States before the president died, she sees Yorick wandering around the halls, which is pretty crazy. But of course, the current president, Yorick's mother, is just you didn't see him. How could you see him? All right, I see them too. But then but the president is talking to the ex-president's daughter, just being just looking at this wall of men who have died that are within the families of those who work at the White House and the Pentagon and all that, right? So they're talking, and she's like, yeah, it's crazy how she didn't see my father. She saw your son, who she hasn't seen since he was 5 years old, and it sees him as an adult male. Weird. So she seems to be up to something, so it's cool. And then we get to the end of the episode where Yorick's mom, the president, decides that he's no longer safe there and sends him away with Agent 355 to go to Harvard, I believe, to get some testing done on him. Just get some testing done on him so they can try to bring back the male race in some way or another. So he goes with Agent 355 and the 2 pilots that brought him to his mother, who flew him on the helicopter in the first place. And then we see at the end of the episode that they take 2 different helicopters, one of which Agent 355 is flying, and then the other 2 pilots are going in theirs. And then the pilot's helicopter blows up. And then you got a little shot on Agent 355 being we have to go on or whatever. Obviously implying that she killed these pilots because they're the only other people besides the president, Agent 355, and the first lady know that Yorick is alive, the last man. So pretty crazy. So that's episode 3. So episode 4, episode 3, to finish off with episode 3, I thought that was a solid episode. I'd say besides the pilot, it's been my favorite episode so far. I like it more than the newest episode as well. But going to episode 4, so we see Yorick and Agent 355 are like in the wilderness. They're in the wilderness and they are camping and blah blah blah. There's a fun moment between them where Agent 355 is just like, take off your clothes, and he's like, what? He's like, don't get any sexual ideas, like, because again, he's the last man on Earth. Like, she has to have those types of thoughts, right? Maybe she doesn't, but they eventually go to like a little like shopping area type thing, and then Yorick gets into some trouble with some women, and they see his face, and then they kind of get in a scuffle with him and Agent 355 with these women. But he's kind of just throwing it, like, just being like, do you have any tea, like testosterone, trying to pull off, like come off as like a transgender, right? But then we go to Hero, who's with her transgender friend Sam, going across from New York to Washington, D.C., trying to get with her mother. But what she doesn't know is that her mother's at the Pentagon, I believe. But anyway, so then they meet up with that one redheaded mother who worked with the president. And like, Heroes obviously was an EMT, so she's like, oh, your daughter's leg is hurt, which we found out in the last episode, because her daughter, I can't remember her name, either the little girl's name or the mother with the red hair, but like the little girl is shooing away crows with a shovel and like hurts her leg. So Hero's trying to help her out, and she does. She gets some medicine, some alcohol and whatnot. So Hero helps out the little girl, and then they take her back to the place where her and Sam, which is Hero's transgender friend, they're staying at some house, and then they run into a group of people, which is giving me some Walking Dead vibes, like kind of like a group that doesn't want to deal with your shit, like, we'll kill you, but then they have a leader that seems to be merciful, who wants to help out, kind of like a Negan vibe to me, but who knows, but she seems to be pretty okay. But Hero's trying to save one of their own who got shot, but then the hero just comes in and shoots her in the face, which is crazy. Even though Hero's been working on saving this woman for the whole time. Yeah, but to cap off the episode, after the Hero and Sam and the redheaded woman and the child meet this new group, the leader of the group shows them where they are. And apparently they're in some like warehouse, like with a bunch of food. Kind of looks like a Sam's Club or a Costco, which I find interesting because now they're like, whoa, we have a lot of supplies now. So I'm curious where the show goes forward, because like I'm most curious about what's going on with the president and the president's, so Yorick's mom, who's president, and then the old president's daughter, because I think that's gonna be an interesting dynamic going forward. And then I actually want more Yorick. We don't get enough of him, and he's the last man. So like, again, we have this type of series where it's just multiple different groups. Like we have to get enough screen time for everyone, kind of like how The Walking Dead was for a while. But Walking Dead was strongest at its peak when everyone was together, right? So hopefully we get to that point towards the end of the season where somehow everyone comes together. Right, well, that'll be it, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe down below, and leave some comments if you like today's video. Make sure to check out my Star Wars Visions video once you get all caught up on all 9 episodes of Visions. And I'm going to try to, after a few more weeks, The Walking Dead Season 11, the final season, should be done. So I'm going to do like kind of what I'm doing with Visions, doing a whole season video, which is what I'm going to do for Season 11 for The Walking Dead, where it's at its halfway point, alright? But then once it comes back, whenever it comes back from its break, I'm going to start doing the weekly episodes for The Walking Dead. And by that point, Why the Last Man will be done. And then, so we'll be able to have some content for y'all weekly, okay? So look out for that, and check out Star Wars Visions, like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next week.